Do not listen to this video if you don't care about setting yourself up financially. But before I share a couple of my secrets and expose a few of my investment picks, I want to start by telling you a little bit about my own story. So I started taking my financial situation a little bit more seriously about 2 years before the pandemic hit. At that point, I already owned my own home and a vehicle, and I was doing better than your average bear. But I also used to say that money doesn't matter, that wealthy people are usually shallow and entitled anyways. I swore that I would never eat from a silver spoon, that money is just the root of all the evil in the world, and I was going to sell it all and work for some non-profit volunteering organization at some point anyways. Although I've always been a little bit altruistic, I also had a bit of a wounded scarcity mindset around money. And it wasn't until I went through a breakup around that time and I looked around and I saw men who could buy vehicles for their girlfriends or fly them on expensive vacations, who seemed to have so much freedom and ability to bless the people in their lives, which ended up inspiring the competitive spirit in me. And I started thinking to myself about what it would take to become more financially successful, the doors that can open, and the impact that it could create in my relationships. I started thinking about the possibility of my future family and even my current family. So naturally, I went ahead and opened an investment account, and I started teaching myself about money in ways that I did not learn growing up. I've learned a lot since then. I've had a lot of wins and of course a handful of losses. The timing that I got into the market, I was blessed to be in at that time, and with a small slice of the surpluses over the past couple of years, I was able to spoil myself with a few things like a motorcycle, a much needed new washer and dryer, and some new wheels for my car, and even an extended trip to Thailand. I am making this video because my goal is to try to share value with you. So here's a few things that I have learned based on my choices and experiences. Number 1, pay yourself first. I set a bi-weekly auto deposit to my investment account for 15% of my income. I treated my investment account like it was a bill. That is the bare minimum. Anyone who knows anything about finances knows how powerful this is. But I also want to touch on the mindset required for what happens next, because once that money enters your investment account, it does not exist anymore. It's like you paid your electric bill or your car bill. It is gone. It is no longer real. It is not your money anymore. That money now becomes game tokens. Think of it this way, because that will help you remove your volatile emotions and desperate scarcity mindset from the equation. It's a game, and if you want to win, you need to make your peace with it. Number 2, the majority of my investments are focused on companies with a 5 to 10 plus year outlook. People who want to get rich quick go broke even faster. Number 3, only bite off what you can chew. I am blessed to have enough strength in my corner and community and occupation that if things went horribly, I would be okay. I'm also young enough and I don't have a family relying on me financially, so my ability to take risks is higher than someone who is not in my position. Number 4, tax yourself. This is an optional game that I came up with that I would play that was inspired when I heard Jay-Z say, if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. Here's the rules. Anytime that you want to buy something that you don't really need, you have to add 50% onto the total of it and then put that difference into your investment account. So if you want to buy a new pair of shoes that you don't need for $100, then you're going to put $50 into your investment portfolio. Try it and see what happens. Number 5, try and think of little ways that you can increase your income rather than always fixating on taking away from yourself. This can really help you switch from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. There's more out there for you rather than just trying to take away from the limited resources that you have. One summer I made about $500 just picking up free stuff on Kijiji and reselling it for low prices. Number 6, as promised, I will share a few of my investment picks that have done really well for me, that I've built a good portion of my portfolio around. This is not advice. This is simply a peek into a few of my main portfolio picks. I have also worked in some crypto into my portfolio as well, but I decided to keep that portion of the pie less than 15%. Honestly, it's not difficult to start planting seeds for the future. What is really hard is trying to not eat all the fruit as soon as you see it, or comparing with other people's orchards that maybe their parents or their grandparents planted. There's a quote that says, "A society grows great when old men plant trees in whose shade they know they will never sit." This applies to building wealth as well. I had to build a stronger mindset, one that extends beyond my own life. I had to think about the future of my family, of my unborn kids. For example, $100 a month may seem like peanuts now, but in 30 years, you will wish that you had tightened your belt and planted those seeds. But I get it, it is hard. I sometimes catch myself looking around and comparing myself, or thinking to myself that I have worked hard. I deserve more. I could sell out now and have a nicer car and a home with a garage to put it in. It's hard to deny myself the fruits sometimes, but I always come back to my why. I will leave you with this one last thought. People who are not working with much capital are often the thirstiest to get rich, so they make bad decisions and take unnecessary risks with what little they have and end up losing. I prefer to do my best to pick long-term winners, because in 20 years from now, that's when we will really see who has the last laugh. I hope you found this interesting and valuable, but I think I'm going to go back to my wheelhouse and comfort zone of relationships and poetry content now. Bye-bye.